Hello, people, and we are going to create a Monsterverse tier list. I am going to create it my own. What I think could be a tier list for Monsterverse, and I am only going to include the movies, not the TV shows, because I have not watched both Netflix Skull Island and the Monarch Legacy of Monster. I have not watched both of them. So I'm not going to include that, but I will include the other movies, all of them, since 2014 Godzilla to the recent one. So my list going to be based off entirely what I think and how the movies are. Is it rewatchable to me? And everything that I liked about it. Technically, it's going to be my opinion. So this list may not be similar to what would you expect or what your list may have been, but then again, it's my list, right? This is how it works. We give our list, everyone have different list, different opinions of which movie is great and not great. But before I make this list, I want to make one thing clear, is that what we call it main characters in the Monsterverse are monsters, and I know it. So my list is going to be based off completely on the basis of, because monsters are the main character, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to ignore the human characters part. The reason why I'm explaining this is because yes, monsters are the main character, but if you have not very masterpiecely written human, but if just a good enough human character, the movie becomes better. That's all I'm saying. So I'm gonna start making my own tier list of Monsterverse. So watch it, and after the list is done, make sure drop a comment what do you think about it, and what is your tier list. Anyways, so I'm gonna start from 2014 Godzilla, and then not chronologically wise. I can pick any movie. I'm not going the releasing order wise, but still, Godzilla 2014. I'm gonna put it in a where, in the B, the C. I think it should be in C. It's a brilliant movie. I think Godzilla 2014 is a brilliant movie. Right now I'm putting it in C. Maybe I put it in a B later on as the list move forward. But I think it was a great movie. It was more of an atmospheric. I like the atmosphere of 2014 Godzilla movie, and there were not really monsters. Like I said, monsters are the main character, but Godzilla 2014 not really have much of the appearances from Godzilla and Muto. Few scenes, but brilliant one. And I think as a visual aspect, atmospheric aspect, and human aspect, the movie was pretty cool. Can you rewatch it? Of course you can. If you're a Godzilla fan, you can clearly rewatch it. But even if you're not a Godzilla fan, it's a alright movie that you can rewatch anytime, I guess. Did I rewatch it? Yeah, I did. Few times. Haven't rewatched it recently, but yeah, I did. Let's see the another movie. Let's cover Godzilla Kings of Monster, which is going to be very interesting because I might put it in C. And if Godzilla Kings of Monster in C, I'm gonna put 2014 one in the B. That is very interesting because, like I said, list may change based on how we are moving forward. Why Kings of Monster in the C1? That's clearly based because Kings of Monster is a brilliant movie. Monsters are there, brilliant. All the titans, all the scenes, Rodan, Mothra, Godzilla, Ghidorah, every scenes with them entirely story wise, with monsters of course, brilliantly done. Loved it. I do rewatch all the scenes with them in the movie all the time, but on the YouTube. I have never watched Kings of Monster thoroughly. I have only watched it 2 times, one in theaters and next when I had it at home Other than that, I have never watched Kings of Monster. I only watched the scenes on YouTube. The reason why I have not watched Kings of Monster again, because I found a movie rather irritating because of the human aspect of it. Now I know we are supposed to ignore the human characters in the Monsterverse, but the problem with Kings of Monster is like, you know, like how I talked about Godzilla 2014. Pretty good movie. Alright human characters, great. Kings of Monster don't have a alright human character. It have a character, human characters, and they are just irritating. It's one thing to have a alright human character, not very well written. I mean, they're just alright, like what we say, bad written. It literally another thing to have an irritating characters. Kings of Monster have an irritating character. The entire family, I forgot their names. The whole Vera Farmiga, her husband, their daughter, the whole thing was very irritating. Every time they were on screen, it was just stupid. I don't know what to say about Godzilla Kings of Monster. Pretty good movie. I think it's have to be one of the very good version of Godzilla. I have not watched it -1 yet, and people say it's a great movie, so I have to watch that one. But since it's not a Monsterverse, so we're not talking about -1 yet. But Kings of Monster, I think, yeah, it deserves the C place just for that fact. Next, I'm gonna cover Godzilla versus Kong. I'll put it in B. Yes, I enjoyed the movie Godzilla vs Kong. Brilliant movie. Every scene, all three fights between Godzilla vs Kong plus the final fight between Godzilla Kong versus Mecha Godzilla. Brilliantly done. Loved it. Great movie. Just one thing that I thought was a little stupid was because there were some returning characters from Kings of Monsters, and the entire plot of the human character was stupid. I know humans are supposed to be ignored. The problem is, like I said, it was stupid. It was little. Those kids went from United States of America to Hong Kong from some underground tunnel, which is extremely stupid. Or was that underground tunnel? I don't know. I watched movie way back in the time, but I do know they reached to Hong Kong, which is what their parents are doing. How are they the have any relevance with what's happening? Godzilla, Kong, Mecha Godzilla, everyone is literally just destroying the world, and for some reason, those kids are relevant to this whole thing, which I find extremely stupid. Enjoyed the movie, but clearly not as sorry. It's supposed to be brilliant movie. Not hating on it. Clearly not hating on it. Just saying that that's what I can do the best for Godzilla vs Kong. Brilliant movie though. I think I put it in A because it was actually very enjoyable. Compared to Kings of Monster, it was a much better movie because Monster part was clearly a lot on in them. I mean, it's easy to ignore the kids in the movies. Those kids and their entire plot, it's easy. The reason why I put it in A because I just had that whole flash of Godzilla and Kong fighting Mecha Godzilla. I think that was pretty cool. The entire fight was brilliantly done. So yeah, it's A. Now we have two movies left, and like I said, I'm not gonna include both the TV shows because I have not watched it. So how can I? I'll come to Godzilla and Kong: The New Empire, and this movie is an easy S. This movie is an easy S tier. No complaining about that. Let me tell you what. I have watched this movie in theaters recently, and this is brilliantly done. Everything about that movie is perfect. Even the human characters they were all right, but I liked how they used the human characters to have that somewhat of relevance to the story. That little girl Jia who revived Mothra, brilliant sale. I still prefer Kings of Monster Mothra because she was beautiful in that movie. Godzilla Kong Mothra was alright, but I still liked it. Brilliant movie. I only have just one critique of Godzilla Kong: The New Empire movie is that Scar King, the way they hyped the Scar King in the trailers. I thought he's going to be so powerful, he's gonna beat Godzilla and Kong together, and that's why they will team up to defeat Scar King, which never happened. he lost his first fight to Kong, which I found the way they hyped the villain, it's not really up to mark. He had Shimu like a pet dog, was controlling through that one stone, and that's it. That's the entire story of Scar King, which is I'm alright with because I still like the movie. It was brilliant. Then fight scene visual, I mean it's literally CGI fight, which is brilliantly done. It's not easy to done it brilliantly. And I understand movie is short and we have not got to see all the monster properly because they had to save the budget for that end fight, which I think was worth every penny that I spent on this movie. This is easy S tier, and I think this has to be one of the brilliantly made movie. It also have, I think, the most powerful version of Godzilla because he turned pink and have so much energy. Kong having that metallic hand, brilliant. Liked it. All the character wise, human wise, all the plot. I mean, in one, what do you ask for a plot in a Monsterverse? All you need is one reason for monsters to fight, and that there we go. That's the plot. Kong Skull Island. Well, finally we are here, and where I will put Kong Skull Island, and it's going to shock a lot of people because it's not B. I'm gonna put it in S. Now, I know a lot of people must have been shocked to see this because it's an S. It's in a top, and I actually prefer Kong Skull Island on top from compared to all the Monsterverse movies. Kong Skull Island needs to be in the top. Why? Like I said, monsters are the main character, but when you have a well written human character as whole, the movie gets better. And I think Kong Skull Island have done pretty good job at that. It don't only have a monsters. The movie is not on it. It relied on monsters, but human character part was done with such brilliance that it stands out on its own. Even when monsters are not on the screen, I'm still enjoying the movie. They were very well written, not just the main character, even the side characters too. And I think having a good cast helps too. We have Samuel L. Jackson, Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson, John Goodman, John C. Reilly, 5 brilliant star cast, plus not only their characters, but even the side characters were brilliantly done. We cared for Chapman, we cared for that one black guy and his friend who sacrificed himself for that with bomb at the end, which really didn't go well as he planned, but I don't think his sacrifice was in vain because he did buy them enough time to get to that boat. But still, I think everyone was done brilliant. You actually care about the characters in Kong Skull Island, that's all I'm saying, and they are very enjoyable. And I think having a, like I said, good great cast do help. Everyone carried the movie, and Samuel L. Jackson, I mean, anything he is in is brilliant. I even liked Snakes on the Plane, all because Samuel L. Jackson is in. So Samuel L. Jackson being Kong Skull Island, he was a crazy military guy, but doesn't matter if his character was stupid or his character reasoning was right or his character was out of the line, whatever, his character one of the most brilliant part of the movie easily. And I think every character was great. And other than that, the monsters part were pretty good. The only thing I think Kong Skull Island could have done better is like the entire ecosystem of Skull Island, because you know we have seen King Kong 2005 of Peter Jackson's, and the world building and the entire what we call a ecosystem of Skull Island is brilliantly done. So you don't feel scary in Kong Skull Island. In comparison to King Kong, Kong Skull Island may not stand out because King Kong is clearly great movie as a whole. But in the Monsterverse, Kong Skull Island stands out on its own as a whole movie, not just because it's a monster movie or it's a monster part or monster part, but as a whole movie, it stands out on its own. That's why it's an S tier. I think it was a great movie, and Godzilla Kong and Kong Skull Island have to be my two favorites because I have rewatched Kong Skull Island a lot just because of that. Because you see, you connect to human characters in the movie much faster than the monsters. And when human characters are done right in the monster movie, you connect with the movie even more. The movie gets better, just like how Alien is. So many Alien movies. So there is Alien versus Predator, but not all the movies are great. Only movies are great where human characters are done better. Same with Jurassic Park, Lake Placid, the first one. So you see, that's why Kong Skull Island is on the top, and Godzilla vs Kong, because, like I said, monsters are the main character, and they are. It's like the whole movie is about. It's called Monsterverse. Of course, it's going to be about monsters. Monsters past should be taken seriously. Godzilla Kong showed, I think, did brilliant job out of all the movies. Godzilla 2014 did pretty good at introducing Kings of Monster. I have explain what my problem is with that movie, but overall I think Monster Past was brilliantly done. Godzilla vs Kong, like I said. So that's my tier list of Monsterverse. What do you think? Is it all right? Let me give you numbers for all the movies. I think Godzilla Kings of Monster is, for me, it's anything between 5 to 6 out of 10. And the only reason it's reaching 6 is because I like all the monster parts, but it's not enough for to make me watch movie again. I watch it on YouTube, all the monster parts. A lot of Kings of Monster fans going to be mad, but then it's just me. If it's your favorite movie, that's great stuff. No problem with that. Godzilla 2014, I think, yeah, it will be a 6 or 6.6. It did a great job actually it's 7. It did a great job in introducing it, and I think the atmosphere is one of my favorite part about the movie. The whole misty environment, and when the monster comes in, brilliant part. Human part was done all right, so I don't have a problem. Godzilla vs Kong, 8 out of 10, easily brilliant movie, no complaining. Both Kong Skull Island and Godzilla and Kong the New Empire. The New Empire stands at a 9.5 easily, or maybe 9. Just because I was expecting more of a Scar King and more brutality from him, but he didn't stand out. But I still love the movie. It's easy 9. Kong Skull Island is, I think, out of all the movies, it do stand out at 10 or 10. I mean, it's just my rating, so your may differs, but I'm open for it. Just mine. So that's the tier list. So what do you think? Tell me in the comments. Thank you for watching.